I hope you guys can hear those birds, but they're certainly happy. Anyways, what's up, you guys? So, today I had a random thought, and that was I see people often walking around with books. I go to some stores, and there's people sitting by the books, looking at them, reading them. I occasionally go to Barnes and Noble to use their internet, and I see people reading their books and buying books, and I go to the library and I use their internet, and all I see is people glued to their books and checking out books and just looking at books and reading from books. And I'm like, when was the last time I grabbed a book and actually read it? And to tell you the truth, the last time I read a book from start to finish was 6 years ago. And it was because it was an assignment that I had to do. But yeah, I always wonder why I am a terrible reader. Not as in I read something and I have trouble with like reading comprehension. No, it's just that the act of moving my eyeball from one corner of a page to the next corner and then the book being in front of me, something about that is boring. And I guess that what affects me is that if there is a movie version of something that I'm reading, although I know that the book is more reliable because it can go into further detail, I always opt for watching the movie. And probably it has to do with the fact that I can multitask while watching a movie. So technically I'm just passively watching a movie, which is I'm not fully paying attention to it, but there's audio. So when the movie slows down, I can just get up and do other things, and then when the action picks up or that monologue is done, then I can maybe return and see what else is gonna happen. But yeah, you guys, I really do not read anything unless it's on my phone. No shame. All that I read nowadays are articles, and the comment section doesn't count because it's just that it's like informal information. And what I mean by that is that it's not like I'm reading stuff that is composed and really encompasses a complete thought. You know what I mean? It's like you guys are just posting your thoughts, but it's not like you are someone who's taking the time to say, conduct experiments and come about a response for something. Like the complexity of it isn't. This is just a conversational type of post, whereas books and articles, they tend to have a focus. So if I had to answer why I'm not captivated by reading, it's because honestly, ain't nobody got time for that. That's one. And second of all, I am so busy creating and writing my own stuff and drawing, and sometimes, very rarely nowadays, but sometimes practicing music, that I just don't have the time for it. I also go to the gym. I spend 2 to 2 hours and a half. I'm not thinking about reading a book, and I see these people who get on the treadmill and they have a freaking book, and I'm like, I can't read from a book when I'm on the treadmill. The most I can do is text. And it's not a very back and forth thing. Another thing that I prefer to do is watch a video or something. But yeah, guys, honestly, I don't even mean to sound like I'm the bomb, because I know that I'm super ignorant on a lot of things, but I'm just pretty confident about my current knowledge and my ability to expand on it when I see it fit, that I don't feel like I have to be immersing myself in books. Like, good for y'all who can read. Like, I admire you guys for finding books interesting, because books are important. They're a powerful tool. It's great to read. But for me personally, it never intrigued me. I need to read books from start to finish, but if I get bored in the middle of it, I quit on it. I don't care. Like, it can be a book that everyone is wild about, and I'm like, I can't finish this. I just can't do it. Um, so there's this part of me, like, this is my shady side, which is I tend to just bail on things that I don't consider intriguing. So bailing on a book is so easy. Like, I usually bail on people and their plans. Like, oh, Zam, do you want to go do this and that? And I'm like, I would love to be enthusiastic, but I just don't want to. And then the person insists, and I feel bad because it's someone who, you know, I'm all right with, and I don't want to ruin their plans because they really want my presence there. But I'm like, I'm sorry, if I don't feel something, I just don't do it. And then in school, toward the end of my senior year, I became incredibly lazy. I passed my classes because of the power of my memory, retention, and I guess discipline, because I was just not doing my work at all. And what I mean by discipline is the years of having taken school seriously and practicing. I could write papers and essays and before class started, and somehow I passed. And if the assignment had to be on a computer, even faster. So, you know, it's weird. Maybe I just got overly confident about what I could do without reading much, that now I'm like, it would be good to know exclusive details that only reading would supply for me, but I ain't worried about it. I'm honestly not. So I guess also the school setting, having read for so many years, you know, I know that a lot of people read more than I ever did in school. Like, there was someone who I was really close to that she had a ton of books that she had read, and she was a legit speed reader. And she could read like 10 books in a week or something crazy like that. And I could only do one book every 2.5, 3 weeks. So I don't know, guys. It's crazy. I can write, but I cannot dive into other people's books. Occasionally, I stumble across this one book that I'm like, wow, this really, 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 I need to know what's going to happen at the end. But as much as I have said that I'll go back to read the books from when I was in middle school or high school that I don't really remember very much, but I remember enjoying, I never go for it. I just don't. So yeah, you guys, that's the shady side of me. I just do not read. What do you guys think? Are you the same way? Are you an avid reader? If you are, what do you like to read? What about reading do you like? Of course, I like to read, but short things. Like, I like reading articles because even though they're opinionated, I'm opinionated too. So I don't mind hearing someone's opinions on some matters if I'm going to have my own opinion as well. So I guess part of it has to do with certain books get more respect because of who wrote them. And I'm like, everyone's pieces of art, compositions, writings, drawings, whatever, everything everyone does for me has a value. So to say that someone else's has a value that exceeds others because of the prestige that's attached to this person, that's kind of discouraging for me, because it almost sounds like someone's just trying to make a dollar and sell me something, you know? But if you introduce me to like just genuine work, that it doesn't matter who made it is good, you know, I can appreciate that. The fact that someone took the time to put something together, to create something, I will always respect that, no matter who it comes from. So yeah, guys, I know that that's probably a random note on the side, but I think it's worth mentioning. And yeah, as a person who is creative herself, I just don't find myself being able to invest my time like that. I am someone who does not run out of ideas. Like, I can keep going on my own, whereas sometimes people read to get inspiration or something. Not to brag, but I don't need that. So, yeah, you guys, just let me know your thoughts. What do you like to read? And what makes you be a good reader? Or what intrigues you? I know I asked that already, but just to be sure. Because I think that's something about me that will never change. And that's probably, it's probably a good thing that I decided to skip on college, because there is a lot of reading that has to be done, and I ain't down for that. I am ready to build things, not to enrich my mind. See what I mean? Like, I know it doesn't make sense, but anyways. Alright guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.